in the Bible, when you study out, look into the lifting of hands, it speaks of worship. For me, it's like, I don't know what it is, I relate to it like this. When I'm sensing God's presence, I feel like those slow motion time-lapse cameras of the sun coming up and the flower starts to open up because the sun's coming out. And that's how I am when I sense God's presence. I'm sure you're the same way. As you begin to sense his presence and it's like, oh man, my hands are going up. I just worship you. And so in the Bible, the lifting of hands is related to worship, but it's also related to praise. Worship and praise are two different things. I don't know if you guys know that or not. Praise is when I sing to the Lord. Worship is a life that's lived for the Lord. Romans says, be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, which is your reasonable act of spiritual worship. So it's not just the songs that I sing or the gifts that I bring, but it's the life that I'm living for the Lord. That's worship. Now, praise enters into that too. But also, lifting our hands in prayer. Remember what Paul said to Timothy? I would that men everywhere lift up holy hands, pray everywhere without wrath and doubting. Man, part of our prayer life is I'm lifting up my hands. There's times I'm sure that you've seen us, and maybe you're the same way. We're lifting our hands, and sometimes it's not praise. Sometimes it's not worship. Sometimes, man, I'm praying, Lord, you got to take this burden. There's times I'll take what I'm going through in my life, and I'm like, I got to give it to you, Lord. I can't handle it. So this is just like it's an act, Lord, before you. It's just symbolic of here it is, take it. And don't you love it when we can lift our hands and it's not because circumstances are forcing us to surrender. But when you see his love and his goodness in your life, and how faithful he's been, it's just like, oh man, Lord, I surrender to your will. I'm yours, take me. I wish I could live in that, don't you?